So hi there folks, we're now in our next video on the fundamentals of mathematics. In our previous video, we have talked about a proportion. We have defined it, and I have given also some examples for the proportion. This time, I'm going to give you some exercises to do in every part of this lesson. Kindly pause the video and try to answer it for yourself, and then play it um, if you want to see the solution. Okay, so for instance, right now you can see two items here. Let me show you four items in that matter. So maybe you can pause the video right now. The directions is tell whether the statement is a proportion or not a proportion. So use the law of proportion, that is the means, or rather the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. Okay, go. Okay, so I think that's enough for now. Let's go back here above and let's try to see, or rather show the solution for number one. So again, the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. So what we're going to do is to multiply 7 times 9 and 3 times 20 if they are equal. So therefore, it is a proportion. Otherwise, it is not. So let's do this. 3 times 20 is equal to, it is said to be equal to, this is the extremes rather, this is the means, 7 times 9. You may use the raised dot if you want. You may use the multiplication sign. Anyways, I will use the parenthesis to indicate multiplication. So 3 times 20 is going to give us 60. But how about 7 times 9? Okay, 7 times 9 is going to give us what number? Okay, what is 7 times 9? So we know 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 9 is going to give us a 63. So since 60 is not equal to 63, therefore, number 1, therefore we can say that this is not proportion. Proportion. Okay, so number 1 is not a proportion. Okay, that is the word proportion. Sorry for my penmanship. Okay, so that's it for number 1. Are you correct there? Hopefully you are. Okay, so let's proceed now to number 2. So number 2, we have 5 is to 15 equals 1 is to 3. Again, product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. Let's continue what we do here, what we did here. So we're going to have first the extremes, 5 times 3. I like I said, we could use the raised dot if you want. 5 times 3 equals 15 times 1. So I think 15 times 1 is just 15, but for the sake of showing that it's multiplying, so let's show it like that. So 5 times 3 is 15, is equal to 15 times 1 is just 15. So we can see that they're indeed equal. So therefore, we can say that this number here, number 2, is a proportion. Therefore, um, it's a proportion. Let's make it like this. It's a proportion. Oops, sorry, that's an I. Okay, so it's a proportion, therefore. Okay, actually, you can see it here clearly that if we're going to simplify 5 is to 15, we can make it 1 is to 3, which is equal to 1 is to 3, of course. Okay, so let's proceed to number 3 and number 4 now. Okay, let's move it going here, and voila. So let's do this. Number 3, 6 to 7 is equal to 24 is to 28. So product of the extremes times is equal to the product of the means. Let's do this. 6 times 28 is equal to 7 times 24. I still use the parentheses here. Either way, it's still multiplication. So let's do the left-hand side first. So what is 28 times 6? Let's do this here. Put this here. So 2 times 6 is 12. 6 times 8 is going to give us what? 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. So therefore, what we have here is 168. Okay, 168. And then here on the other side, what is 7 times 24? So let's put it like this. 24 times 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 4 is 28. So 1, 6, 8. Therefore, 168 is equal to 168. That's an identity. So therefore, the answer here is it's a proportion. Therefore, number 3, okay, it's a proportion. It's a it's a proportion. Propor sorry, proportion. Okay. So there. You can also see that you can divide both of this by 2, or rather by 4. So 24 divided by 4 is going to give us 6. 24 divided by rather 28 divided by 4 is going to give us 7. So that's equal to 6 over 6 is to 7. Let's proceed to number 4. We have 100 is to 2 is equal to 400 is to 4. So um, product of the means equals the product of the extremes. You may ought to use the means first. That's just very okay. 400, 2 times 400, I'll do that, equals 100 times 4. I think the answer is very obvious here. 2 times 400 is 8. Okay, 2 times 4 is 8. Just carry the 2 zeros. We cannot do anything about that. 100 times 4, 1 times 4 is 400. Sorry, 400. So therefore, clearly, 800 is unequal to 400. So therefore, number 4, okay, is not a proportion. Okay, let me show you last two examples for number 5 and 6, and then let's say goodbye to this video. So for this last two examples, kindly answer this, pause the video and answer them. Okay, so let's do this. Means, product of the means times the product of the extremes. So we have, let's do the means first. 9 times 35. Again, it doesn't matter what comes first. 7 times 43. So 35 times 9 is equal to what? 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 5 is 45. Um, add them. So 3, 1, 5. Okay, 315. So we can see that 35 times 9 is 315. And then we have 7 times 43. So we're going to write 43 times 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 3 is 21. So what we can see here is 3, 0, 1. So therefore, we can see that 43 times 7 is going to give us 301, which is clearly not equal to 315. So therefore, we can say that this number 5, okay, is not a proportion. Sorry for my penmanship. And for number 6, um, product of the means times the product of the extremes, same process. So let's do with the means first. 51 times 2 equals 17 times 6. So 51 times 2, just double that. So 102. 17 times 6, I think we need to um, compute that. 17 times 6. So 1 times 6 is 6. 7 times 6 is 7 times 5 is going to give us 35. So add 7 to that. So that's going to give us 42. So this is going to give us 102. That's 1002. And 102, clearly, we can see that 102 is indeed equal to 102. So we ended up with an identity. So therefore, we can say that this is a proportion. Okay, it's a proportion. Oops. Okay, so that's it for this video. Just some exercises on how to tell if your given proportion is indeed a proportion or not. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you would like and subscribe. Okay, see you.